Change my view. People who work extra hard at minimum wage jobs create worse standards for themselves by showing they can, and will work hard for no extra compensation.
I work in fast food. For a long time I gave a fuck about what I did, I tried. Even when we had call-outs, we're understaffed, ext. I would pick up extra slack to ensure that the company ran good and that my co-workers felt happy in the environment we were in. Others would too in the name of the team. 45-second drive times. Being friends despite the shit storm we were experiencing ext. So this all clicked for me when I got stressed out and stepped down as supervisor. I spread my view and we as a group let the drive times slow and the customer service scores go down. Lo and behold, suddenly people who called into work, or didn't show up, were being written up and let go. The appropriate amount of people were being scheduled per shift. And a load was taken off of all of our backs. Because of being lazy and working the appropriate workload for what we were doing. It stalled the business and forced him to make changes that would not only accommodate us but speed up the business as well. Edit. For those of you calling me lazy. Is doing what's expected of you in your job description lazy? I still work for this company and am a valued member of the team. I just have limits on how hard I'm willing to stress myself for the demands of the company. When the company's own processes have to lead to the problems at hand. Not my lack of work ethic. They still ask me to take my old position back acting this way. Because I'm good with people. But this company isn't worth my best and they're getting what they pay for. Edit 2. While not a total change in view. Those who are bringing up management's role in changing and guiding these sorts of things are absolutely correct. All the blame can't fall onto the worker for taking the bad behavior when they are the victims in this situation. It's more complex than I make it out to be. Edit 3. Working hard for a promotion is a viable strategy to get promoted if said promotion is deemed worth it. Definitely, not every situation is the same and I understand the merit of working hard for something you really want.
Change my view. We should stop using the term ladings.
I admit it will be very difficult to change my view, as I feel very strongly about this, but I am open to reconsidering my view. The term is completely unpronounceable in Spanish the way that people intend for it to be pronounced. If the people for whom the word is intended cannot even pronounce it, then it is not an effective solution. Latino is gender-neutral in Spanish already, but if that is unacceptable because of its masculine inclination for some people, then there are other alternatives that are easier to pronounce, such as Latine and Latin. In Spanish, it is understood that Latino is gender-neutral, and it does not have the sexist connotation that English speakers assume it does. The term is largely pushed by progressive white Americans against the will of the Latino community in the U.S. Only 3% of Latinos in the U.S. identify with the term according to the Pew Research Center. The vast majority have not even heard of it, and amongst those who have, their view of it is overwhelmingly negative. They see it as a white Western attempt to disrespect the rules of the Spanish language for politicized means, which is linguistic imperialism. Given the number of people who actually use the term being so small, it should not be used as the default for all Latinos, unlike what corporations and politicians in the U.S. are doing. If you know someone who identifies as a woman or a man, just call them Latino or Latina. We often say people are the authors of their own experience, and this is a central tenet of progressivism, especially for the marginalized. So why are people not listening to the majority of Latinos who do not want to be called Latinx? It screams, we know what is better for you than you know for yourself, so sit back and shut up.
Change my view. Trans people should disclose that they are trans before sleeping with someone.
Cards on the table. Although I don't feel like I have a bias against trans women, I would feel ashamed if my friends found out. As if I was scared of the ridicule and opinions of others. It's also hard to say that I'm not attracted to them because I'm a straight male, and I do believe if a man wants to transition to a woman because that's who she is and that's what is inside her, then that person is a woman, but personally I don't ever want to sleep with a person who used to be a man. You probably won't see me marching in unity for them, but neither would I counter-protest them for wanting to be treated more fairly and equally. All I know is I would be mentally and emotionally disturbed if I slept with a woman only to find out the next day she used to be a man. Nothing against trans people, but it's not for me. Unless it was Brittany Daniel from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Edit. Whoa, so this exploded a bit. It gave me a bit of time to think. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to rescind a Delta or not, but spoiler alert, I would if I could. I played a bit of devil's advocate, and I recognize my language may have been a bit triggering in the initial post. However, reading a lot of this hearty debate has helped me compile many of my thoughts on the entire trans debate. Thank you.
Change my view. Any opposition to the COVID vaccine is almost entirely political, and not at all based on science and medicine.
I hold this view because every source I've seen that casts doubt on the safety or efficacy of the COVID vaccine goes right back to right-wing politics. They're political sources, they're published on political websites, they're bloggers who also post right-wing political views. Any non-political source I've found is clearly in support of vaccines. I want my view changed because I do try to look at both sides of an issue. I do want all the information about a topic, especially in regards to my and my family's health and safety. And if nothing else, I want to be able to respect the views of friends and family who feel otherwise. I would love for it to simply be a difference of opinion that's intelligently based on reality. Edit, I would add that any irrational, non-credible reason would be included with political, even though I only specified political. Whether it's fear, conspiracy, or anything along those lines. Edit 2, okay, I've spent way too much time on this. I'm getting a lot of the same unsaid talking points I've seen over and over again, and I'm noticing more and more conspiracy theorists jumping in. I will try to continue to read replies, but I won't comment unless it's awfully compelling.
Change my view. There is no justification to destroy innocent people's businesses, cars and homes during a riot or protest.
I understand the rage, I understand the sense of injustice. But that innocent person had nothing to do with it. I don't care what the reason is. You do not have a right to burn down someone's business who had nothing to do with the injustice being protested. You do not have a right to burn their car, destroy their home or store, or physically attack them. Doing this is not brave, bold, or making a positive difference. People attack innocent, uninvolved people and their belongings because they are too afraid to go after the people who actually have power and contribute to the injustice at hand, so they attack powerless people with no recourse and expect those people to self-sacrifice everything they've earned and worked hard for in the name of the greater good.
Change my view. People that enjoy seeing criminals getting what they deserve by being hurt, beat down, or killed are just looking for excuses to enjoy people's suffering.
I'll never enjoy seeing someone getting hurt or killed, no matter how bad of a person they are. Even if they were literally Hitler. It happens often on Reddit that I see posts about vigilante violence. Or for example, bikes being left unsupervised and trapped to hurt the thief. And people in the comment section are all getting very excited about seeing a bad person getting hurt. It is my opinion that they actually just enjoy seeing people suffering. And they need an excuse for it. It happens to a bad person, enabling it to be fine, instead of completely horrible. Edit. I'd like to edit my change my view because I feel like most are not engaging with my actual opinion. This is not about, is vigilante justice fair or not? My opinion is that if you can enjoy the suffering of people you consider criminals, then you can enjoy people's suffering and just need an excuse to tell yourself it is okay.
Change my view. If you walk around a US city open carrying a rifle, you're an asshole.
Under normal circumstances, the only reason to do this is to either prove a point, i.e., it's America and we got our right to our gun, or to intimidate people. If there is active unrest and you want to sit on the roof of your own store or something like that with a rifle, like many of the Korean shop owners did during the LA riots, to protect your own property, I can at least understand that. I don't think it's a good idea, but you're not an asshole for doing it. But just walking around the streets open carrying a rifle? Yeah, there's no reason for that. This excludes the military and police.
Not that it's okay for them to just walk around with a rifle whenever, but there are situations where they can probably do it and not be an asshole.
Change my view. Spaghetti is objectively the worst pasta noodle, and every pasta dish would be improved with a better noodle.
It sucks at holding sauce, it doesn't mix well in the dish itself. You'll get a bite of a bunch of noodles, or you'll get a bite of the sauce, and whatever else you have in your dish, but never both simultaneously. It's long and gangly, and hard to scoop onto your plate without making a mess. No single utensil is really made for getting it from your plate to your mouth. Is there any redeeming quality other than it's kinda fun to say in a vaguely racist Italian accent? Every single pasta is better than spaghetti noodles. Why is it so popular? Edit, since the friend spaghetti comment was so popular, I feel the need to clarify. When you have leftover spaghetti, sometimes I throw it in a pan, some olive oil at medium-high heat, and fry it a bit to serve it again. It's delicious and I highly recommend trying it with your leftovers.
Change my view. If colleges discriminate on race when it comes to admissions and financial aid, it is not unethical to lie about your race when applying for college.
Recently, a survey came out that more than 1/3 of white students lie about their race on college applications. The students were heavily criticized on leftist Twitter and by civil rights advocates like Ibram Kendi. There was also a revelation during the college admissions scandal that students were told to lie about their race on their applications. And Mindy Kaling's brother pretended to be black to get into medical school. In my opinion, the issue is not the students lying about their race. It is the racist admissions policies that create a situation where lying about your race is beneficial. As long as those policies exist, we should expect people to lie to take advantage of them.
Change my view. He started it as a perfectly valid defense, and we should have never been taught otherwise.
Everyone knows the scenario. Two kids are fighting or getting into it in some manner or another, and then the parent, or teacher, or principal, or whatever breaks them up, and one says, he started it, and then the authority figures says, I don't care who started it. I'm sure you've seen it happen in real life and maybe even had it happen to you, as well as in media and whatnot. This is a horrible thing to teach kids. It basically says if someone is bullying or assaulting or annoying you, you are not allowed to do anything to defend yourself or retaliate. You just have to sit there and take it, until presumably you snap and shoot up a school. In actual law, the person who started it committed assault or attempted murder, and the person who is defending themselves committed no crime even if they kill them. When it comes to kids, the stakes are a lot lower, so it's easy to brush off the whole thing and tell them both to shut up. But while that might be convenient for the adult, it's very damaging for the children, because the aggressor is taught they can get anyone they want in trouble by aggressing on them, and will face no more than equal consequences, and might even be able to use that to extort people. And like I said before, the defender is taught that they should never fight back or retaliate. So instead of teaching kids that it matters who started it, and thus you should never aggress on someone, as they are justified in retaliating, we teach them never to retaliate, enabling the aggressors.